What is up, everybody? My name is Matt Gunn. I'm your host. Welcome to Speed Circle Podcast. This is our first episode that we are doing, and I couldn't think of a better spot to do our first podcast than on the Tail of the Dragon. And we're sitting in front of Gravity Cavity, which is one of the most famous turns on Tail of the Dragon. Not sure how much action that we're going to get in the background of this podcast, just because it's a little bit later in the day, but I have the Evo here. It's been an absolute blast. We've been here for about 4 days now, and we're here until this weekend. We're attending an event called Tougefest, which is in its 11th year. For those that aren't familiar, it was started by a gentleman named Dana, and it was formulated to get people that have a common interest of cars together and carve a mountain. And Tail of the Dragon's on Route 129. It's on the Tennessee side. It lines between North Carolina and Tennessee border, and it's located in the Smoky Mountains. So it's a pretty cool spot. It's 11 miles long. It's over 300 turns in total. It's pretty treacherous for those that aren't that skilled or knowledgeable between motorcycles and cars and trucks. And I mean, you'll see pretty much everything in the background of this video, I'm sure, which it's pretty cool. A lot of people collect here year round during the warm months and even in the core months. And we're here in the beginning of November. It's a little bit cooler in the mid to high 60s right now, which I thought is pretty cool. That there's that many people that are here. But this weekend for Tougefest, it's going to be absolutely swamped. And it's a pretty cool event. It runs for 3 days long. It's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Normally it's the last weekend of October. But ownership has now since changed from Dana to new ownership this year, and they're having it the first weekend of November, which is pretty cool. So we'll see how everything goes. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of crashes and debauchery and all that fun stuff this weekend, and it'll be kind of interesting to see. And plan on doing another podcast for you guys this weekend, so you can kind of get an idea of what really goes on in Tougefest. But yeah, we're just collected here for the week, here with a bunch of the Toge Fighter guys that belong in a group. Been a long time member of this group, and it's a lot of SCCA guys and Spirited Driver guys that created something. It's called Toge Fighters, and it's pretty much an invite only. You are required to attend Tougefest and then do a certain amount of events, whether it's like autocross or track days or any type of motorsport events. But it's a pretty strict criteria that we have, and the reason for it is we have to trust the people that we're driving with, and we're all friends. It's all mutual, so it's pretty cool. But we're all out here. There's 9 of us so far, about to be 10. There's normally a little bit more, but obviously at the end of the year, a lot of stuff going on. People get busy and not always able to get down here, but we're here. So been running the Evo for the entire time that I've been here. I brought the Raptor out on the Dragon a couple times, which is pretty cool. Definitely not a back road truck, but she makes do, you know, Fox suspension and all those fun bits. But the Evo's done pretty well. Pretty stoked for how this year went. Car did decent. Had to make some adjustments. I fought the car a lot this year. But as we kind of move forward into the 2026 season, I'm pretty excited to see how the car does. We definitely have some changes to make. I visited a company yesterday called Eurospec. Shout out Eurospec. And my boy Josh works over there. They redid the alignment for me. It's called a Toge alignment, but I had specs set in mind I did 4 degrees of camber in the front, 2.5 degrees of camber in the rear. Really plant the car. It seems to like it. It's performing really, really well. As I'm sure you can hear a car in the background carving the mountain. We'll probably see them here pretty soon. But yeah, the car did well. There's definitely some changes that I want to make to the car. Not sure what it is. It looks like either a GR86 or BRZ. Couldn't tell. But he's moving. Yeah, definitely have some changes to make to the car this upcoming year. Performance-wise and then safety-wise, definitely want to do some further safety add-ons to the car, cage and so forth, just to kind of get the car prepared for just about anything that I decide to throw at it. But yeah, Tougefest. This is my second year attending Tougefest. Last year was an absolute blur, coming from Philadelphia all the way down to North Carolina / Tennessee. It's a long drive, you know, pulling a car on the back of a trailer. It takes about 12 hours to get down here. But yeah, it was an absolute blur. We went down to see a friend of ours, Mike, down in Georgia. And we went to, it's called Blood Mountain, which is not as gnarly as Route 129, Tail of the Dragon, but it's up there. It's pretty gnarly. And doing that on, you know, a couple hours of sleep was a little nutty, but then spent the rest of the weekend on the tail and down at Tail of the Dragon store. It's also partnered up with Killboy. So Killboy is original photographer for the Route 129, and he's got a website, which I'll make sure that I put the website down in the description. But he has multiple filmographers on the tail on a weekly basis. They run from about 8 a.m. to about 5 p.m. So they're still out now. It's about 4-ish now, our time down here. And they get some pretty good photos. If you're down here, you get the chance to come down to the tail. Definitely have the opportunity to get your photo taken if you're on the tail within those hours. You have 129 Slayer, which is another photographer that's down here, and it seems like he either is independent or has a crew. I'm not really sure. But yeah, it's a pretty cool experience to get down here. If you haven't had the chance, I highly recommend it. Whether you're a motorsport enthusiast, a motorcycle enthusiast, or you just like a nice canyon style road that's on the side of a mountain, cliffside on the side that's behind you guys, and then the mountains on the other side. And some pretty cool spots, a lot of pull-offs, which I'm sitting on right now at Gravity Cavity. And there's also an overlook, which is about 3/4 the way down the mountain, where you can see the mountain overlook on either side, which is a pretty cool little spot to set. You'll see that somebody just pulled off here for faster traffic, which is expected. You know, we have some rules and guidelines that we pretty much follow down here. You know, not tailgating, and you know, drive within your, you know, skill set and your means. You know, there's a lot of local traffic that uses this road as a pass through, and you have to be pertinent to them and be kind. And you know, if they're not going to pull over, then you know, you need to follow them within a, you know, safe distance behind them. But for the most part, people are pretty good about pulling off on the tail and making room for you so that you have a little bit of room to play and all that fun stuff. But it's been an absolute blast. I'm enjoying myself thoroughly down here. It's a nice way to get away from the norm. There's very little cell service that's down here. Everything is pretty much driven off of Wi-Fi, and it's just kind of a nice little reset. So give you guys some insight. But yeah, we're definitely looking forward to Tougefest this weekend, and you know, seeing how this event gets run this year. It's going to be different since it's under new ownership, and you know, kind of see, you know, what type of feedback is received, and It's cool to see all the sponsors that they're going to have, all the vendors and the booths and all that fun stuff. And there's a possibility that we might do a little small podcast while we're at the morning check-in for the event itself, which I think it'd be pretty cool for you guys to see behind the scenes and get an understanding of how this stuff works. And maybe the layout will be a little different this year than it was in the years prior, or maybe it won't. Maybe it'll be somewhat similar, but wanted to get out here and have the opportunity to he's moving, get the opportunity to see kind of what the event's all about. So look forward to seeing everybody soon and getting some feedback, and just enjoy ourselves down here while we're on our vacation, But the car's doing great. It's holding up. We're beating the crap out of it. It's an Evo. There's no real other way to drive the car other than beat the crap out of it. So she's taking it just fine and doing a lot better than I expected down here. And as I'm running the tail more, I'm getting more and more used to the tail itself and really pushing the car. And we had some good runs yesterday, and we're going to see how the rest of the week goes, and hopefully the weather kind of holds out and stays in the 60s and allows us to get some grip. And as you kind of see, there's some motorcycles or motorcycle that's coming our way, which is pretty cool. It's a high crash area for motorcycles because of how aggressive these turns are. And if you're not paying attention, these turns will come right up on you and catch you off guard, and just have to take the tail at your own pace. Whatever that pace is, fast or slow, it doesn't matter. As long as you're out here having a good time and a fun time, that's really all that matters about this route. So just wanted to get the podcast started off with you guys. I'm really enjoying, the opportunity to do something like this. It's pretty cool. I don't know how many other podcasts have taken place on the tail. Maybe I'm the first, maybe I'm not, but I'm going to try to film as much as I can for the duration that we're on our trip here, and set up in different locations and give you an idea what it looks like. And hopefully you guys get the opportunity to make a trip down here and experience it for yourselves. I think it's a pretty cool area to be in. Everybody's very, very nice. They have phenomenal food down here. And what better opportunity to get out and drive a phenomenal road than come down the Route 129, Tail of the Dragon, and tons of souvenir shops and stop and goes and all that fun stuff. So just wanted to get the first podcast off our channel out and about, and get some feedback, see what you guys think, and go from there. As always, I'm your host, Matt Gunn. We are on the Tail of the Dragon, and I look forward to seeing you guys sometime soon. See you guys.